Hey guys, Pim here. In this video, we are going to do a comprehensive deep dive review of ClickUp. So if you are anything like me, your digital life is probably a bit of a disaster zone right now. You have got tasks floating around in Asana or Trello, you have documents buried somewhere in Google Drive, you have your team chatting in Slack, and then you have random sticky notes on your monitor that you're pretty sure are important, but you can't remember why. It is called App Sprawl, and honestly, it is absolutely killing our productivity. We spend half our day just switching tabs trying to find where we wrote that one thing down. That is exactly the problem ClickUp promises to solve. Their slogan is one app to replace them all. It is a massive promise. But the big question we are going to answer today is, does it actually work? Is it a productivity paradise, or is it just a jack of all trades that is master of none? I have been living in ClickUp, testing every feature and pushing it to its limits to see if it can really run a whole business. By the end of this video, you will know exactly if this is the tool that will finally get your life organized. Also, before we dive in, I want to mention that I have a link right at the top of the description box below. I have set it up to apply the absolute best discount or promo code available for ClickUp right now. So if you do decide to give it a shot, even if you just want to try the paid plans, make sure you click that link so you don't overpay. So let's start with a little context. ClickUp hasn't actually been around that long compared to giants like Asana, but they have grown explosively because they are incredibly aggressive with their features. They release new updates literally every single week. Let's talk about the pricing because this is honestly one of their biggest selling points. ClickUp has, hands down, the best free plan on the market. They call it free forever. And unlike other tools that limit you to like 2 projects or 5 users, ClickUp gives you unlimited tasks and unlimited members for free. That is huge if you are a freelancer or a small startup with no budget. If you need more storage and advanced features like Gantt charts, you are looking at the unlimited plan, which is around $7 per user per month. Then there is the business plan for around $12. When you compare this to Monday.com or Asana, ClickUp is generally cheaper and gives you way more features for that price. It is a very high-value proposition. Now let's get to the ugly truth. We need to be honest here. When you first sign up for ClickUp and log in, you are probably going to feel panicked. There are buttons everywhere. There are menus inside of menus. It is colorful, it is dense, and it is overwhelming. People literally call it the ClickUp overwhelm. Because it tries to do everything, there is a very steep learning curve. You can't just open it and start working instantly like you can with a simple to-do list. You have to learn how it thinks. However, and this is important, this complexity is actually its greatest strength. Once you get over that initial shock, you realize that the reason it's so dense is that it is infinitely customizable. You aren't forced to work the way the app wants you to work. You can mold the app to work exactly how you work. To understand this, we have to look at the core features, starting with the hierarchy. This is the part that confuses everyone, so pay attention. ClickUp is built like a Russian nesting doll. At the top, you have your workspace. That's your whole company. Inside that, you have spaces. Think of spaces like departments: marketing, sales, HR. Inside spaces, you have folders like Q1 projects. And inside folders, you have lists. The list is where your actual tasks live. It sounds simple, but because you can customize the settings at every single level, it allows you to have a marketing space that looks like a creative mood board and an engineering space that looks like a strict spreadsheet, all in the same app. This leads me to my favorite feature, the views. ClickUp has over 15 different ways to view your work. This is wild. So let's say you have a list of tasks. You can view them as a simple list, obviously. But with one click, you can turn that same list into a Kanban board like Trello. Click again, it's a calendar. Click again, it's a Gantt chart for project management. They even have a mind map view where you can brainstorm ideas visually. And then, this is the cool part, you can turn those bubbles into real tasks directly from the mind map. This solves the biggest fight in most teams. Designers want a board, managers want a Gantt chart, and developers want a list. In ClickUp, everyone looks at the same data, but they view it however they want. No more fighting. Another massive component is ClickUp Docs. Usually, you have your tasks in one app and your documents in Google Docs or Notion, right? And you are constantly linking back and forth. ClickUp has a full-blown document editor built right in. It's actually really good. You can create wikis, SOPs, meeting notes, everything. But the killer feature here is the integration. You can type a slash command in a document and insert a live task right there in the text. So if you are writing a meeting agenda and you decide, hey, Sarah needs to fix the logo, you create that task inside the doc. If Sarah updates the status of the task 3 days later, it updates in your document automatically. It keeps your planning and your execution completely synced up. And we have to talk about the new kid on the block, ClickUp Brain. This is their AI integration. Now, I know, everything has AI now, but this is a bit different. Because all your work, your docs, your tasks, your chats, lives inside ClickUp, the AI acts like a neural network for your company. You can literally ask it questions like, what did we decide about the marketing budget last week? And it will search through long comment threads, old documents, and closed tasks to find the answer for you. It saves you so much time digging for information. It can also summarize long tasks, write emails, and generate subtasks for you. It's basically like having a super smart personal assistant who knows everything about your business. Now, I want to talk about a specific nuance that makes ClickUp special: custom fields. This sounds boring, but it is the secret sauce. In most apps, a task just has a due date and an assignee. In ClickUp, you can add fields for anything. If you are a real estate agent, you can add a field for property price or location. If you are a YouTuber, you can add a field for sponsorship status or video link. This means you can essentially build your own software inside of ClickUp. You can turn it into a CRM to manage clients, a content calendar, a bug tracker, literally anything. You are not limited by what the developers thought you needed. Okay, let's break this down into a balanced list of pros and cons. On the pro side, first, the value. You get an insane amount of features for a very low price, or even for free. It replaces Trello, Asana, Notion, and Slack for many teams. Second, the flexibility. As I mentioned, being able to customize every view and field means it fits your brain, not the other way around. Third, the frequent updates. The team is hyperactive. If there is a feature missing, chances are they are building it right now. Now for the cons. First, the speed. Historically, ClickUp has been known to be a bit laggy because it is so heavy. They released ClickUp 3.0, which is much faster. But if you have a massive workspace with thousands of tasks, it can still feel a little slower than a lightweight tool like Todoist. Second, the complexity. I cannot stress this enough. You will need to invest time to set this up. If you just dump your team in there without training, they will hate you. You need to configure the settings so it doesn't overwhelm everyone. And third, sometimes it feels like they have too many features. Some features, like the chat view, are okay, but they aren't as good as Slack. Sometimes you wish they would just focus on perfecting the core stuff instead of adding more bells and whistles. So, what is the final verdict? Is ClickUp worth it? If you just need a simple grocery list or you are working on a very simple solo project, no, don't use this. It is overkill. You will spend more time setting up the tool than actually doing the work. But if you are a freelancer managing multiple clients, or a business owner trying to wrangle a team, or just someone who wants to organize their entire life in one place, ClickUp is hands down the best value for money tool on the market right now. The power you get for the price is untouched. It allows you to build a second brain for your business. Once you get over that initial learning curve, it feels like you have superpowers. You stop losing tasks, you stop wasting time looking for docs, and you actually get work done. Remember, if you are ready to tame the chaos, check that link in the description to make sure you get the best deal when you sign up. If you are currently using a different tool like Asana or Notion, let me know in the comments. What is the one feature that keeps you there? I'd love to hear your thoughts.